ASCs. We're also looking to hear a little bit about
infrastructure. Yeah.
So our city is the city of Waterwalla. It is located in Washington State, next to the Pacific Ocean, because we base our model around water and our main waterfall. So our waterfall comes down and it splits into different sections, and those different sections are different districts of our city. So our waterfall and these solar panels function most of our entire city by energy because we want zero carbon emissions.
And also with carbon emissions, instead of using cow meat which uses a lot of methane, we have bug farms. So we do not have bug farms. Yes, and crop towers.
Oh, I've heard they have a lot of protein.
Yes,
They
have
have
a lot of
protein,
yes.
bug farms.
Yeah, so instead of methane and processing all the meat, which takes a lot of energy and is very bad for the environment, we chose to do crop towers and bug farms, which are a lot healthier for the environment.
And are people eating it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you guys tried some?
I did. We had a
Okay.
career fair last year, and one of the guys who came in was a cricket farmer, and he brought cricket cookies. And I got to try one, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, they're crunchy.
Yeah. It's actually delicious, and
You can't really tell it.
Yeah.
So about the infrastructure you were talking about, I said the river split it up.
Yes.
So we have 3 main districts, and then in those districts we have industrial areas. These are the 3D printed buildings that we designed and printed. And then these are the commercial, so schools, hospitals, grocery stores, etc., etc.
Okay, so the industry area is here, and then you have residential outside.
Residential inside. So and the commute is more even between industrial and commercial.
That makes sense. And what is this?
Yeah, I noticed there's like a train or something here. Is that how they commute back and forth between the zones?
That is one way because we have 2 main ways of transportation, and then we also have these solar panel water gondolas that are from the city of Venice. So then, if you say you want to get from here and Friday by Venice, you want to get from here, maybe there you can go through this short thing and then get over there.
Yep, and our water gondolas, there's not just 2 or 4 people. It's like a bus in the water, and it produces no carbon emissions because, as Danny said, they're from solar panels. And for our train, it's fully electric and magnetic, so it can get super fast anywhere you need for
Around the city.
Yep.
And is there any parks?
Actually, most of the parks are actually on the outer ring because we decided to try to preserve, to kind of create an urban setting here and then kind of surround it by nature, so it kind of feels like a little biodome. And sometimes on top of the green roofs here, there are some parks, like there's dog parks for residents who live.
And we have the ocean right here. So if say you're coming into Waterwalla, maybe on a trip, and you're like, oh, there's the ocean right there, and then you can all just go in the ocean.
And it'll be really good that we're next to an ocean for shipping reasons and also travel.
So you have a port?
Yeah.
How do you guys keep maybe the water and Waterwalla clean with all the people and the industries and all that kind of stuff? Is there any thought to how that would work?
Well, since we don't have any gases being emitted like fossil fuels, water stays pretty clean. We have the water wheels that help a lot in getting energy to our city. So I would say that the water stays relatively clean just because we don't have a lot of gas in here.
And also, we made a law a while back that if you're ever caught littering or dumping things into the water, there would be a fine. And if it's too much, then you can possibly.
Where does garbage go?
They'll probably go to maybe one of the industrial plants, so they can recycle it and reuse it.
One of the examples is the energy conversion plants. Well, the main job is to convert the energy. They also sometimes recycle there and extract energy used in that process to also help fuel the city.
We try and use as many recyclable products as we can instead of using trash stuff. Instead of maybe grocery bags, we use reusable bags. So we were able to keep we use, so we don't have to have much trash.
And recycling isn't the only way we use things. As you can see in our vertical industrial crop towers, one of the main sources to help, one of the main things that help sustain the plants inside there is composted things. So composted egg cartons, packaging, lots of
Everything that could be composted.
Yeah.
All of our industrial buildings have solar panels, so there's no bad fumes or leaks that go into our precious Waterwalla mine.
So walk me how you would establish this type of a community. Do you go into an existing urban place and start knocking down buildings and then creating your waterways and doing that? Or do you look for a greenfield site and try to build this?
I think we looked for like maybe an open area so we wouldn't have to like tear down and waste materials. So
Waterwalla used to be a wasteland, so it's in our essay. So all the engineers, they came together to take out the trash and make a sustainable, eco-friendly biome. So that's why we have zero carbon emissions.
So you reconverted an area that wasn't being used.
It was like a
As a dump site.
Can I ask you, how did you come up with all these great ideas? As a team, as a unity, did you vote? Did you research? Like, what was the process like?
Well, sometimes like we were trying to figure out like what was our moving part, which we tried that a ton, and then I came up with the idea like to move those glow sticks, like spin them, right? And so we were like, so then that was our moving part, and like we all chipped in on ideas every now and then.
And we've had Zoom calls where we research ideas, write the essay, and we've come up with many good ideas like the waterfall, the train system in the sky. So, and then we've tried to make for a long time many different types of trains.
Yeah.
It didn't work out, so then we made the water wheels, and it's good because that's where our entire city gets the energy.
Basically, how we kind of came up with ideas is we'd all kind of sit around or all get on a Zoom call and kind of just spitball ideas, and then we'd start to build off of each other until we had Waterwalla.
Fantastic.
Vertical industrial crop towers, I remember how they made that. And it's a good farm, solar panels.
Walk me through, so you get up in the morning and flush the toilet. Where does that go? What do you
we
do with
have
that?
pipes underneath the city. So I would say that they leave those probably to more like
To reuse and recycle.
So the water treatment cycle, or you treat it, and then does it pipe out into the ocean?
I would say it goes back, once it's fully fresh and clean, it would go back to the water also.
So you reuse it,
Yes,
drink it,
because it's fully
fully clean.
fresh.
I got one last question for me. You guys have a bunch of like really good solutions to different problems for climate change and such. Did you guys ever come up with something that maybe you thought would be like a challenge that you need to overcome that you didn't end up picking that solution? And what was that process like picking out ideas that you didn't end up going with, not just the good ones?
I know because we were basing our city, if you can't tell, entirely around water. So we were first thinking of water pollution, maybe like cleaning up the water in the oceans areas. Except then we mainly focused on carbon emissions and at the same time by making a good community that'll respect the water.
And how we kind of decide that is we slowly started to realize that water pollution wasn't as big of a threat as carbon emissions. And I mean, in say New York, those emissions are skyrocketing right now because of all the greenhouse gases, the fossil fuels that really have a negative impact on an urban city. So we decided instead of water pollution, we were going to create an ideal urban city that can be used and reflect how in the future it's going to be green.
And as you probably know, a couple years back, the ozone layer was really bad in the North and South Pole, and it was like creating a hole for the Earth, and that's very bad. So that's why our city, our big, beautiful city, is doing zero carbon emissions.
Thank you guys. Good luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you.